For me, I like to start by sharing a story about toner. When I was on campus and the day after graduation, it was a Sunday, I spent Sunday morning delivering hummus from my 2001 Honda, schlepping it around all over my car seats and the trunk and everywhere and trying to bring it to the awesome citizens of Palo Alto. But in the evening, I would raid toner on this campus. One of the first things that we tried to figure out at DoorDash was how do we get the word out? How do we get the word out when we have $18,000 in the bank? When none of us has ever done anything related to marketing or any of this growth hacking stuff. And one of the first things that we did was we raided every single color printer on campus because our IDs still worked. Actually, they worked throughout that entire first summer that we launched, summer of 2013. And we printed out over 110,000 copies of, it's a lot, of half-page flyers that would say, this restaurant now delivers, or for example, Oren's Hummus now delivers, or Ike's now delivers. And when I looked up the rates in terms of what that would have cost to print out at Kinko's, that would have been $33,000. We had $18,000 in the bank. So that math didn't really work out. And so every night from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., you would find me in one of the awesome rooms here with printers, basically crushing the toner. And the next morning, you'd find the librarians asking, what the heck is going on? Like school's out, everyone's supposed to be at the beach or having fun with their friends, yet all the printers are raided and we're out of toner. But that summer, I can definitely tell you, I recouped a good part of my Stanford tuition. And it was one of the best uses of time and investment to get the company off the ground. For me, the lesson, for both that story as well as, frankly, many others over the summer was the idea of being resourceful and being a learn-it-all, not a know-it-all. My co-founders and I, this is our first company. We don't know anything about anything. Whether it was learning how to be a good delivery driver, we call them dashers, whether it was figuring out what are all the things you have to get right in understanding how the food needs to get to the store, what systems we must speak with, how do we fix something when things go wrong, or how do we even get the word out. All of these things were fun things that we had to learn step by step by step. And that story of breaking all of the Stanford printers is just one of the most important things I would say that has been a hallmark of the DoorDash culture, which is really to be resourceful and being a learn-it-all. When I think about the journey since that summer, DoorDash has grown very quickly. In 4.5 years, we grew from my apartment off campus and the 3-4 of us to now 600 people spread across 800 cities across the US and Canada. And I would say that every 6 months, every 3 months maybe, this idea of being resourceful and learning it all, happens pretty much, front and center. Every single day, I pretty much walk in the door as the dumbest person in the room. And I am just trying to learn from every single interaction, whether it's with our office manager, whether it's with the CEO of Chipotle, whether it's with you all tonight. Every interaction is an opportunity to learn something. And I think that, especially as I think about when I was sitting in your shoes, you think about all the things that have probably gotten you here. You're incredibly bright, incredibly hardworking. You have all of the access and privilege that you may or may not yet understand. But one of the things that I promise you, that will hit you in the face, especially as you graduate, is that the world's not going to care about that. The world, especially if you can't bring them food on time when you said you would, certainly will get hangry at you, regardless of your CS degree or your fancy machine learning model that was supposed to have fixed that. So whether it's the most basics of just learning how to deliver food, or whether it's figuring out how to build a very sophisticated learning algorithm, every step is really about having, first and foremost, the humility to start as a beginner. In fact, first principles is one of the core values of the company. And in every team at DoorDash today, the best leaders always, we say, lead from the front. That means they're the first to do something. Maybe they're not always doing it later on in the course of their positions on the team, but that's what they're doing. They're the ones on the front lines taking customer service calls. They're the ones getting thrown out of restaurants as we try to understand how to best understand the decision makers within a restaurant. They're the ones testing the learning models, and when they break, actually fixing them 3 a.m. in the evening after refunding customers and doing deliveries to appease the customers. These traits of fostering a humble culture where everything is about studying the problem from a beginner's mindset, from understanding every single detail, is really what has, in my opinion, led us to where we are today. And especially as you build your organizations, whether it's just the 2 of you right now inside your dorm room, whether it's now spread across maybe an office with 10 of you, or maybe for some of you in the near future, growing very, very quickly, you're going to have to learn to fire yourself every 6 months, firing yourself from whatever it is that you're doing. And you're going to have to teach that confidence to the people that you give that job to. And the easiest way to inspire confidence and give people the ability to bet on themselves is to show them that you can do it. And if you can show them that you can do it, and if you can show them you can do it in areas where you have no experience or understanding, I promise you that very good things will happen, things that will very much surprise you. I can tell you about one of our team members who started actually as a lawyer. This is his only trained profession for 15 years. This is the one thing that he thought he was planet Earth's expert in, a particular type of law. After solving some of our legal issues at DoorDash for the first 6 months, the next assignment that I actually gave him was customer service, which is a very difficult problem since we have to solve real-time tickets from customers, merchants, and drivers at increasing scale. And guess what? You don't have like 24 hours to solve someone's hunger problem. You have maybe 24 seconds. After solving that, Keith decided to take on our people challenges and actually lead HR, a profession, again, to which he has no experience. After doing that, he decided to take on business development and help us understand how can we partner with more and more companies as we build a platform for last mile delivery. He was able to do all of this because he had a beginner's eye. And he was able to do all of this because, first and foremost, he understood that if we study from first principles, that if we learn from every interaction that we carry, if we are able to constantly be willing to be wrong in front of all of our teammates and friends, that great things can happen. And actually, frankly, that's actually how you solve problems. And so your ability to be an expert learner, your ability to then scale that across your team as well as with your co-founders is, in my opinion, one of the biggest indicators of your future success. And so I know that it's midterm week. I know that everyone's probably working really hard. Thank you for coming. That as much knowledge as you possess and will graduate this university from, I wish you, first and foremost, the humility to keep learning and to take every interaction that you have and let that really be the hallmark of what you lead your company with.